Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Prim Show, and today we have a special guest, Patrick Foreman. He's a writer, comic book creator, and he have a serious comic book out called Black Cotton, and we're gonna discuss it. Jump right into it. But before we do that, I have this thing we call the weekly wrap up, where I just go over some stuff I find interesting to share with the group, and we just usually chop it up.
Yeah.
So first thing that I thought was interesting is our sister here, Black Canary, is getting a little development for HBO.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Is this the same sister from that show?
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, in Lovecraft Country.
Yep. Right. And her brother, her brother, right? Juicy.
Who? Yeah. Juicy who?
if you watched Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones, he called him Juicy. He was like, y'all know Juicy Smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, but her brother is the one that came up with that fabricated story. He was going to a Subway in the middle.
That's her brother?
Yeah, that's her brother.
Yeah.
Empire.
Okay. He was on that. Okay. Wow. All right.
And I don't get it. It just to say I don't get it, because look how good his sister's doing now.
Right.
And she could be putting him on, but because of what he did, people don't want to really touch him.
Right.
Yeah. If anything, if he would have stayed the course, they could have been helping each other out. But
that's right.
It's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? It's very unfortunate. But the next information I got for your brothers is this brother right here.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, Don Cheadle. But the brother right here, what's his name? Yashir?
Mm-hmm.
He's a writer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he helped Don Cheadle on his new TV show. So basically, it's like a full circle. Mm-hmm. Because now he's writing for the Armor War thing for Disney. So, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Brothers sticking together and just building off each other and stuff. I'm cool with that.
It's going to be interesting to see how they do with that, because I've been wondering, because Armor Wars, if they're following a lot of stuff in the comic books, it could be really, really interesting.
Yeah,
really, really good, because
they could go some different directions.
Yeah, because Rhodey in the comic books, man, he did a lot of stuff. He did a lot of stuff as War Machine.
Yeah, and from what I'm hearing is, I guess the premise would be him retrieving all the technology that was taken from Tony Stark, and they're gonna get it back. So yeah, that's how that goes. But again, this movie right here, Venom, is getting pushed back again. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I'll keep it 100 with you. It need to be rated R. You know what I'm saying? Because comic book, how Carnage got busy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he was no joke. So we definitely have to check that out and see what's up. But
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, man. Keep hearing good things about this movie. It's well received. Well, there he is. Hey, how you doing, man?
Man, internet stuff. Sorry. Technology is failing us in the 21st century.
I get it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so it's tracking nicely. A lot of people looking forward to this one. I'm gonna try to step in the movie theater and support it like that. Not sure y'all guys watch horror movies or not, but
yes, we do.
There it is.
Well, I do.
Okay.
There it is.
What it feel?
Well, the sister that directed this movie, she's getting praised for what she did with this movie, and it's tracking nicely. And all the people who have seen it say it's good.
Cool.
But Tony Todd is back. I think you did a piece on that Night Watch on your show, and I watched
man, it. I've been doing a lot of pieces on this thing, man. I can't wait. Just a couple of days until it's out.
Yeah, the 24th, right?
27th.
Yeah, 27th.
Well, I have heard a couple people that got early like screenings and stuff, and I did hear the 24th as a date. And I'm like, damn. So yeah, it could be.
All right. So the ultimate sunrise.
Twist.
Mm-hmm. He said, "Who do you think?"
Done before, so I'm looking. What's the twist on this one? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for too, man, because they've given us a lot of breadcrumbs as far as how this movie's going to pan out. As far as Tony Todd, what his situation is going to be in the movie. I mean, they've literally, short of showing him in the movie, waving at the camera, saying, "I'm in it" as Candyman. Short of doing that, you've got all this information that says he's going to be in it as Candyman. They referenced him in a couple of trailers or TV spots, so it's going to be interesting. You've heard his voice. There was this TV spot where he was talking and he says, "I hear you looking for Candyman." It's his voice, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So they've really been tiptoeing around it. So I can't wait to see it. According to what he said, people are going to be really, really amazed. So I hope it all pans out.
Isn't this a Jordan Peele movie too?
Yeah, he
produced it. He produced it. You know what I'm saying? He gave his sister a shot, and from what I'm hearing, she knocked it out of the box. So,
yeah,
I'm here for it.
I mean, what Jordan Peele put out there hasn't, been high level quality.
Right.
He's been killing it thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has that studio, Monkey Paw, right? That's his stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let him get all that money from each side in front of that movie player.
Oh, did y'all see the sneak that he put out there for the next movie? Nope.
Yeah, I seen a poster.
Yeah.
Now that I haven't seen, no.
Man,
I know.
It's called Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
So that looks interesting too. So basically, this live stream is going to be intertwined. We're going to be talking about Black superheroes and TV shows and movies. It's going to be light, but we're going to chop it up. And at the same time, we're going to intertwine with a nice little interview with your two brothers and promote your comic book.
Appreciate it.
Because, I definitely enjoyed what I read. And I'm here for it, man. So we're going to get this going. The word got to get out.
Yeah,
right.
Hopefully one day we'll be back on and we'll be talking about, TV.
And I got some stuff lined up, man. I got some stuff lined up for you, brother, because that's some serious brothers. And I appreciate y'all guys on the platform.
All same.
So we're going to start off like this. What are some Black superhero comic books you read growing up? I'm going to go to Patrick. So what did you read growing up? Black superhero.
Back in my era, we was that was right when Milestone was kicking out stuff. So I got tried, I got those from way back, and that's when I was young. I definitely Luke Cage. I was drawn to Luke Cage. Got some of those, and I wish I was deep into Black Panther. I got a couple, but I didn't really get deep into it. But at the same token, back in that day, as we all know, they really didn't give us the love. It wasn't like they were pumping us out there or our characters. So, as a young kid growing up, if you don't see it, then you technically don't sort of gravitate toward it unless somebody else, instills that in you. So I'm fortunate that I saw, Milestone and I was drawn to them, but I wish, I was drawn to even more growing up, which is, sort of why we so passionate about Black Cotton, because we understand, representation is huge.
Okay, so I'm gonna come down to Brian. What were you reading when you was coming up?
Yeah, so I mean, Black Panther. But to be honest with you, I have to say the same thing. Like, it wasn't to the forefront. So unfortunately, a lot of like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman overshadowed. But I would say there one that really stuck out to me, more specifically in the cartoon, the X-Men cartoon, was Bishop, and I believe Bishop. Yeah. And he, he was Black, and so that part of that cartoon stuck out to me, and I remember with that storyline and him time traveling and so forth and so on. I found it so unique. And it's an interesting thing. Representation does matter, because I remember that cartoon more so because of him and
Exactly.
that visual aspect, and there's a connection there. Yeah.
I'll tell you, going back to Brian sparked something in me. The one comic book is really two. Obviously, Spawn. You know, who wasn't really into Spawn, but Shadowhawk.
Oh, you really taking it back.
Yeah, wow. I have those comic books, and I clearly remember the day that issue number 3 when I got it, and it has a dotted line, you know, across the side, because you didn't know who he was. And on that issue, when you take the dotted lines, it raises his actual helmet. And that's when I was like, oh, snap, he's black, you know? and I have a lot of those comic books for the same reason, you know, Brian was saying, especially when I found out he was black. I was like, yo, I'm on it. And then they pissed me off with the way they killed him. You know, I'm like, how you gonna get a black man AIDS? Really? You know, come on.
You know, that was a big thing too. That was like, you know what? I don't know if that was a shot or what, but I wasn't feeling that. But Nightwatch, I'm gonna come down to you. And what are some books that you read coming up?
Probably, I mean, obviously Black Panther, you know, you always got to have Black Panther in it. And also a lot of Luke Cage, especially when it was Iron Fist and Power Man, you know, that was one that I read a lot. But probably the character I gravitated the most, because I read a lot of X-Men. So Storm was always one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
And you know, it was especially cool when she kind of, you know, was the leader of the team, and she was a badass character, man. Yeah. You know, she really was.
That's when she had the mohawk?
Yes. Yes, man. She was I mean, she's basically like, sit back, Scott Summers. I'm leading this thing, you know. So like Storm was pretty badass, man.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question I got for you, Patrick, is this: how did you come up with the storyline, and were you worried about cancel culture? That's for you and Brian.
You said cancel or
cancel culture, because you know how it goes when you have a topic that the mainstream is not feeling, they try to shut you down. So was that a concern?
It really wasn't. Here's what I will say, and then I'll definitely, you know, tag Brian in, because really a duo combination with Black Cotton. I love how we mesh well together. We're truly a great partnership.
Yeah.
But I got fed up. I was really annoyed that over the years, what I kept seeing is it seemed like there were shows and movies put out that were trying to get a certain class of people to develop empathy for another class of people. But what I notice is, if you continuously cast one cast in the power position and another cast in the not supporting, but in the subordinate, you know,
a servant role.
Yeah, exactly. Then it is really hard for me, the person in the power position, to develop the empathy, because I can't see myself in that role. I see myself represented in a different way. So, and then I got fed up of seeing myself in the other role. You know, it's like, really, why? Underground. Let's take Underground. You know, beautiful, great show, but I couldn't finish it because I'm like, I'm tired of seeing Black people as slaves running around, you know, or getting beat and stuff. It's like, I've seen it enough, and I felt the pain enough. So the concept was, you know, just mulling around in my head. And me and Brian, we got a mutual friend named Luke Wright, phenomenal individual. Got a book out called The Right Thought, you know, just a real good fella. So me and him, we basically we speak in prisons because I also have a magazine, Return to Citizen magazine, that helps incarcerated individuals transition out of prison. So me and Luke were speaking in a prison, and we came out, and I was like, yo, man, I got this concept I want to do. It's a comic book. And that's when he was like, well, hey, I got a friend who's been in the business for over 15 years, you know. Hey, why don't y'all do lunch, you know? So that was December 2019. January 2020, Brian met us for lunch on a Sunday. Me and Luke did an interview, and we went to lunch, and Brian was like, yo, I'm going to swing through. So he came through, and I started, you know, just telling him the surface of the concept, and he just grabbed it, and then we started blossoming from there. And it was so funny because I was like, yo, even the cotton is black. And he was like, oh, that's it right there, black cotton. So we basically went from lunch to my house, and we started going in hard on black cotton, just really developing the world from there. And 10 months later, we were signed to Scout Comics, and we've been killing it, you know, ever since. But to go back, you know, to it, were we worried about the cancel, you know, atmosphere that can, you know, come out? Not one bit. We didn't even think about it. We didn't talk about it because here's how we felt. We felt that there were enough people out there that felt the same way we did, that they would love it. And then number two, we also felt that it was very timely. Yeah. You had a whole culture that was hungry for someone to say what they were thinking. And that's what we did. We just, you know, did that in a way that could be received. And that's the most important thing. Me and Brian, we really, you know, when I say we've had thousands of conversations, we truly have had thousands of conversations, because how you present this to the world is important. A person, you know, will not receive it if you send it out, you know, preaching or where they can't really devour it. That's sort of something that my pastor always says, you know, you give the word where they can, you know, actually eat it and digest it.
Yeah. So there's a fine line when you guys put together to put it out there. You didn't want to be on one side. You want to be right down the middle, and that's kind of hard to do. Yeah. So Brian, I'm gonna come to you. What's your thoughts on the question here?
Oh, well, I mean, he laid it out very well. I mean, I really had to echo what Pat said. But more specifically, you know, when it comes to cancel culture, like, I really think about what we've had to deal with a little bit after the fact, you know, like, you know, in running Facebook ads and it going out there, you know, the comments on just the name Black Cotton, and the minute that you say, you know, where the social order of white and black is reversed, you know, it solicits certain thought patterns, and we get those thought patterns, that verbiage actually on the comments, and, you know, from it immediately being called racist. And I actually had one guy, he messaged me, and it sticks out to me on IG, and he said, I'll never forget, he said, I have never wanted another fellow creator to fail more than I want you to fail right now.
Wow.
For you to actually take the platform that you have and create this mess is horrible. I will never forget that. And
so that means you're on the right track.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But, you know, there's a lot of venom out there simply because of the social order being reversed, which I think is just, man, it speaks volumes, because you don't hear anything about that with
other races.
A man in the high castle. It's not anti-Semitic, is it? Right. No.
Right. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
But this is racist. So, you know, I do think that what you're saying is absolutely right. You know, we are doing something right, but it also Black Cotton exposes us human beings, so who we are. And wherever you are and whoever you are, that's what you are. And Black Cotton has been a great tool for that for me. So yeah.
Okay.
Post cancel culture is like wow.
Okay. So you know what? Through the live stream, I will be throwing different Black superheroes up. Of course, some of your guys covers and stuff like that. And you know, the next question I have for you is: have you made other comic books besides this one? And do you have any other comic books coming out?
Oh yeah, Brian got a whole list.
So what's your background, Brian? Are you like a writer or something? Like
I like to posit myself as a writer. Yes. I've been fortunate to have a few projects out there. I'm an editor for Mad Cave Studios. They're a phenomenal group. You know, we're like, they embraced me like 4 years ago, and you know, we're like family. And I've had the opportunity to work on a lot of their books with their creators as an editor. I've worked with Black Box on a title called Devil's Dominion, which is about a young woman who has sold her soul to the devil, but has reneged on the deal and is now has taken control of her demon possession and uses it for good. And one of the biggest things about that for me is that the main character is a Black woman, and so you have this young Black woman in this supernatural lead character role, which is very important for me. And I've worked with Zenoscope Entertainment on the Van Helsing title and the Gretel title. Obviously, Black Cotton and some other smaller publishers who are launching their books independently through Kickstarter and through their website, like Unparalleled Comics with Dragonfly and their Stellar Odyssey sci-fi series. And I have a couple other things that's in the works that under NDAs I can't talk about yet, but probably in the next 2 months I will be able to. But I like to think of myself as kind of a writer. So
he's a writer and an editor. I mean, have y'all heard of Nottingham?
Well, that sounds familiar.
Oh, you gotta check that out. That's one of the hottest done comic books that really, you know, is shoot. He's the editor for it. Just look up Nottingham, man. Oh,
Nottingham. Okay.
Glory is the editor. So you know, Brian just super talented. He hates when I, you know, give him the genius, you know, that he is, the you know props that he is. But for real, Brian, remember his name, because I'm telling you, in 2 years, y'all gonna be talking about Brian Hawkins, you know, and all of the accolades and stuff. Because the man is.
Did you do some literature, Brian? Did you go to school for literature?
I am an English major, so yeah. I taught English for 17 years. Yeah, 17 years.
Nice.
The last 2 years, I've been professional writing. But yeah. Okay. I love me some literature. So
Nice.
All right. So the next question I got for you, because it ties right in for both of you guys, is: are y'all expanding into other venues, movies, TV shows, and plays with your content? Patrick?
It's funny you say that.
I like that.
But here's what I would say. The short answer is a definite yes. The question, and then I would tell you, give you a little reason why. And like I said, me and Brian are a perfect team because as you've heard him just rattle on, you know, his the experience within the comic book world. Well, my experience is in what you're talking about, I'm in different, avenues. That's where I'm a 25-year veteran, Marine. So, one of my old roommates, y'all might know him, Nick Jones, who was in Green Lantern, and he just did what is it, Yakuza, the one on Netflix. He was the writer for the head writer for that. So
all right.
So you got another brother, doing big things in LA. So I'm able to draw on the Marine, the veteran aspect. I also have a magazine, like I said, Return Citizen magazine. It's nationwide. It's in the prison. So we're able to also get gems that other people can't even touch. There are some amazing people that are behind the walls that nobody can actually get to. But guess what? We got a whole avenue to, 1.2 million individuals. I also, Brian, he always says this, want me. I'm also an award-winning gospel artist. Yeah, I won Independent Music Award in 2020 for my song "He's Able" off of my first album that I put out. I'm putting out another single probably next month. Right now, it's being mixed down by Kevin Kelly, who is he already has 3 songs on the Stellar Awards, and the guy is just phenomenal, accolades. And then I fly to Nashville, Tennessee in September to do another song. So, I'm able to draw from the music, because what I want Black Cotton to have a soundtrack, So, we definitely go, hit all the different markets, that we can.
Okay. So the next question I have for y'all guys is this. Would you consider working with the big comic book companies with your content? Like the DCs and Marvel. If they ever just come to you guys, would y'all do some business with them?
Yeah, as long as we maintain control. Because the last thing we want is them trying to change, it ain't gonna happen, So that's my answer. I'm sorry. Brian, what do you say?
No, I mean I'm right there with you. There has to be when it comes to creating original content, if so you kind of want the James Tinian deal where he was able to create this a nice House on the Lake series on DC's Vertigo label, and he's the owner of that IP. It could be partnered with Vertigo, where Vertigo, DC, and him own it, but he still has ownership. So it will always come down to controlling and maintaining that IP if you're creating original content. If they're saying, hey, work for hire, you and Patrick come over here and write Falcon, then hey, yeah, why not? Let's go write Falcon. But when it comes to original content, there has to be some rights there that remain with us. Black Cotton will never go to them though. No.
Oh wow.
No.
I hear you on that.
Yeah.
So the next question is this: what are your favorite types of comic books you read? I'm gonna come to Patrick.
Oh, favorite types. Here's what I would say. My favorite type. I hate to say this, Brian. I'm really not big into the superhero type stuff. I really like more where we are. I'm Black Cotton, something that really hits home, I guess you could say, something that I can sort of relate to. I've always been that type of individual because superheroes are nice and it's cool and all, but sometimes I like to get those realistic where I can identify with sometimes that's just me. I like to read more of those.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you know what? Y'all guys are busy. I just keep it 100 with you. I don't know how y'all guys keep it 100. Y'all guys are busy, but y'all are consistent and y'all guys are focused. if you keep doing what you're doing, I mean, it's paying off, but it's going to pay off more. And like I said, I sat back, did some research, watched a couple of things, went to certain places and checked things out. And you guys are winning. I watch a lot of interviews on YouTube, and it's like a dream team. Black Cotton. Do you want to like get into it? Because what I got out of it, it was dope.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You know what? Matter of fact,
It's your show.
It felt like I'm gonna go old school. Yeah, remember that show Dynasty?
Yeah.
I love Dynasty.
It's like with the money. It's us with the money. You know what I'm saying? And we doing a little damage control, but we got that one son who just a little rebellious and stuff. But I see what's going on. I see the layers that y'all doing, and I'm like, how do they layer like that? Because a lot of people can mess up. It's like Jenga. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard because one fell move and it can all fall apart.
Right.
And the comics that was sent to me, I read them in 1 second. You know what I'm saying? And it had my attention. So I said, what's going on next? What's going to happen next? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna come down to Brian and like, guys, how y'all guys do it?
Well, it's a lot of discussion. When Pat said that, we had thousands of conversations, like we really, from the moment we met and we started working on the concept and building the concept out, we haven't stopped. It's from phone conversations to Zoom conversations to text conversations, like anytime throughout the day or night, and we're kind of constantly working at it, and really just honing in on the presentation of the story, who the characters are, and the obstacles that they're facing, and what they represent and what they mean, the themes, the motifs, and ultimately we try to carve out. There's a specific line in issue 1 where Kia calls Zion out on potentially implicit bias, and really that's one thing that Pat and I we really look at with ourselves. Where are we being biased at, and we try to dig into it and carve it out so that there's no bias in the story, that we're presenting the story Black Cotton in the most authentic way, to where what the reader reads and what they take into it, they come away with their own perception, that we're not, like Pat said, we're not preaching anything, we're not on one side of anything, but we're hopefully laying the groundwork for the reader to dive in, and then when that book closes and they're finished, that they walk away with some kind of perception that is their own, that has been brought to them from Black Cotton. Like, this is what they took from the reading. So
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So when I was reading it, I noticed they would introduce themselves or say something like Black Cotton. Like, there's one thing where I guess the father was talking to the daughter, and it seemed like they got into a little heated discussion, I would say.
Yep.
And then he said Black Cotton, and it seemed like, I don't know if she smirked but I was catching this stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's different. That's cool. Was that intentional?
Oh yeah, definitely. So okay. what you saw there is, it is one of those key things where we see it too often, especially nowadays, where people can't get past the moment. Is where you can be in a heated, argument, conversation, whatever it is, the two sides are in. But after that happens, they can't get past the moment and back to the love. And that's what Black Cotton, by the father saying Black Cotton, and the whole family says it to each other.
Yeah.
What it does, when in that moment, by him saying Black Cotton to her, what it told her was, you know what? I still love you. All that.
That's what I got out of it. That was different.
Yeah, it's like, hey, all that just happened, I love you. you know, and it reminds her of their history, not just her and the father, but meaning the Cotton family history and everything. So they say Black Cotton so that they can get back to, you know what? Okay, I understand. Let me move forward. And that's why she, you know, says Black Cotton. That's why she smiles and says Black Cotton back to him. And when they greet each other, they are, you know, hey, Black Cotton. Matter of fact, me and Brian, when we get on the phone or in the morning, we be like, yo, Black Cotton morning, brother. Or, you know, when we get off, we say Black Cotton. The team says Black Cotton, you know, and then Scout, they jump on our page or anything, they say Black Cotton to us. So we really want this thing to go viral because we think that Black Cotton love is something that people need in the families, in their life. You know, get past the moment and just say whatever it is that you need to say. You know, y'all don't have to say we love it if you say Black Cotton, you know, but I don't care what it is, whatever you could say prim love, you know, and you know, hey, night love. It don't matter, but whatever it is, just so that y'all and your core group understand, hey, what just happened, that was just a moment. But don't discount, hey, I still love you, you know?
There it is. So you know what? I'm gonna come down to Brian. You want to give a brief description of Black Cotton, real quick for the audience, people that's watching?
Absolutely. So Black Cotton is set in an alternate reality where the social order of white and black is reversed. It hinges upon an elitist family, the Cottons, and their controlling of their community, of society, their area, and their son, rebellious son, police officer, he is involved in an officer-involved shooting, and he shoots minority white women. What happens from there is that social tensions rise, and there's a lot of backlash because of not only the Black 1% officer shooting, but because of the aspect of potential racism. That's Black Cotton.
And the beauty piece that I love about it is the three facets that are going on. Because Elizabeth Nightingale doesn't die. The female that is shot, she doesn't die. So you have going on, you see how the Cottons, the elitist group family, is dealing with the situation. Then you also get to see how the Nightingales are handling the situation. And then that third element is society. You see how society is handling it. So those three things are going on all at once.
Okay. So I'm glad you explained that because, like I said, I enjoyed it. And when he stepped to the hospital, I was like, oh, man. But you know what? The mother, the mother's going to be a mother. She don't do damage control, so I get it. But when she came in there, she cut the water from Alice. She was like, look, what is it going to take to make this go away? And I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? She gave the checkbook. She was like, all right, what we doing here?
How much is this going to cost me?
Yeah, you know, that Daniel Carroll type vibe going on, you know. So I was like, okay, money's long. Money's long.
It's long.
Well, yeah, I definitely enjoyed it though, man.
Cool. That's great too.
Xavier, what did he do, man? Did he go make a mural or something, or did he do something with his little crew? Because his uncle was rapping to him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's like, but no, I won't give too much away. But like I said, I definitely enjoyed the book. I know the characters. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying?
They out there, so go ahead. We can dive in. So you're talking about the protest?
Yes.
He went protesting.
So for the crew, yeah.
Right, and that's that whole dynamic, that you get because you have, this elitist family, but then they're their own individuals. And Xavier, he is one of those, young cat who he understands Zion is his brother, but he also doesn't agree with what happened and how we could say, Black privilege is given to his family.
Yeah.
So he's out there, protesting technically against his brother.
So what's up with the sister and brother from Japan that feel slighted?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
Because they said they feel like the clan got disrespected and they put some payback. What we doing here?
Yeah, go ahead, Brian. I'll let you touch on that.
The Keshinome twins, they're representing their family. They are half black, half Japanese. They're biracial, and so one of the things that we're introducing into this Black Cotton universe is, what does it potentially mean to be biracial in Black Cotton? And so, we have these twins, sword carrying twins, who have a certain code, a certain view of the world, and they feel slighted, not just in a moment, but they're talking like historically they feel slighted by the Cottons and what the Cottons represent, and their families, the Keshinomis and the Cottons, like families have history, deep ancestral history, and so their arrival is part of Patrick and me bringing the history of this universe to the forefront, because one of the main things, and you'll see it in 5 for sure, but we've touched on it in other interviews, is that the Black Cotton universe isn't built on the fact that at some point in time things got switched over and white people were in chains and black people were the owners. The Black Cotton universe is built on the fact that slavery never existed, that there was an African immigration to the Americas, and Africans got here first, Europeans got here later, and so the social order was set that way instead of. So what we're dealing with is a North American group of Africans, right, African Americans, who never lost their identity through slavery. So everyone in this America have never been in chains, and they've never had, they don't
know that experience. They don't understand that. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So it's but the thing about it is that, we still end up with some of the same ills, the same oppression, right? And that's, our way of looking at how humanity is going to do what humanity is going to do. Slavery is an unfortunate and horrible atrocity that came out of this sickness, that of what racism is. But you look at other countries, and where there is serious oppression and there hasn't been slavery, but there's some horrible atrocities still taking place even without slavery. Right. So
y'all guys really y'all really turn everything on his head, and turn on the light. Where roaches running around. So, all right. But you know what though?
I respect that.
I think this format that you guys got, y'all can go so many avenues: angle, classism, racism, just bigotry and all that stuff. And I'm here for it. The way y'all just writing this and weaving this, yeah, man.
Wait till volume 2. We work in volume 2 now. It's so crazy because when we were working volume 1, the first story arc, me and Brian, we was like, man, we can't wait till the world, get a load of this, and now we work in volume 2, and we're like, yo, we need the world to go and get past 5 and 6, so we can get to volume 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
So with the Black Cotton film, the Black Cotton itself is black, and this is just cotton that's weaved into everyday stuff like the clothes, all that stuff is just there, and they got a monopoly on it, right? So they get all this bread.
And
they're doing it generationally, like it's a generational thing,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're not new money; they're old money.
Okay. They got that. You don't got to count it; it's all their money. Yeah. So it's there. Don't have to worry about it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we're going to, like Brian was saying earlier, as people continue to, ride this ride with us, and they're going to see the universe unfold more. They're going to start learning more about the history, especially, the bad blood between the two families, and the beauty. We're going to start also showing, for instance, what would New York look like if it was inspired by, blacks instead of, the way it looks now? Would it even be called the Big Apple? So, or would it even be called New York? I don't know. So that's some other things that we're going to also be bringing to the light is, what if the influence was different? What would it look like? And you see some of that in the apparel that they wear, and you're going to see more and more in volume 2. You're going to see more of the African influence, brought into it, and just
Okay. So who idea was it? It was both your ideas to keep it in black and white? Was that on purpose?
Oh yeah. But go ahead, Brian.
Absolutely. Yeah. So real early on, we had a discussion even about how the great thing about the comic book medium is, of course, the visual aspect, right? And so the visual has to also tell a story. And, and we early on, from the onset of the story, we're like, this has to be black and white because decolorization, taking the color out. It's black cotton. And to take the color out of the story, you then, you have to focus on who the characters are. You have to focus on what the story is about. You don't have to, there's no question of like, he's dark skinned or he's light skinned or, she's whiter or pale. Like there's no choice but to absorb characterization, character, obstacles, and story. So the black and white is meant to do exactly that.
Nice.
Okay. Well, yeah, man, I'm glad we discussed the book. I definitely enjoyed it. I have this thing before I wrap it up. It's called the speed round, which I kind of cater towards whoever comes to my platform, and we're gonna get into it.
Okay.
Basically, some questions.
All right.
All right. It's real easy. Night watch. He's used to it, so he's gonna be in the cut watching y'all. Let's see. Let's talk. Let's start off with. Oh, that's more questions. Matter of fact, before we get there, let's talk about the attributes and what was given to superhero movies. So we're gonna talk about Blade. The blueprint for today's superhero movies. Because when that movie came out, it let them know that this shit don't have to be goofy no more.
Right?
Yeah. Don't have to be goofy. So I'm gonna go to Patrick and how you feel about that, because I think he changed the game, and that was a Marvel item.
I think so too, because he reminded, especially with the mixed in of the martial arts, it went back to you know what? There are black people who know how to do martial arts, and they can act too. And hey, Wesley Snipes was he did a phenomenal job on that role. Yeah, definitely. I that is a movie that I think paved the way.
Okay, and Brian, what's your thoughts on it?
I agree. I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think of like, and I'm not quite sure which one came out first, because I know Batman came out in 89, right?
Yeah.
I think Blade came out in the 90s, right?
Yeah, like 97, something like that.
And so I think it's interesting because I remember as a kid when my Batman growing up was in a blue cape and in a gray suit. And when Batman came out in all black and it was like the Dark Knight, it changed my whole world. And I think what happened was that that Batman Tim Burton was a darker movie. It wasn't like Blade dark, but it was a darker movie. And I think Marvel saw what Batman did and was like, wait a
Mhm.
second. And I know that Wesley Snipes was really, he was in the prime of his career, we could say.
Mhm.
Right? It was a long, he had this huge window. New Jack City, Sugar Hill. I mean, so to bring, it's interesting that Marvel chose Blade, right? And I think what Blade was Marvel's answer to, like, in their test, their litmus test to see, can we go dark? And what darker way to go than a vampire story? And on top of that, a black man in the lead. And
Right.
So let's try this. And so with that in mind, I would say that even though Batman 89 was first, I do agree that Blade changed the whole thing, because you have a lot of nuances happening at one time.
Mhm.
Black vampire hero.
Kicking ass, making it look good.
Martial arts too.
They're making it look good.
And
And you know what? Just to add on to that, Brian, back then Marvel was leasing out a lot of the items. So
Yeah.
Yep. That's how
Miramax had the rights to Blade,
Mhm.
and it wasn't a top tier character. So
Nope.
David Goyer, Wesley Snipes, and them guys got together. Detroit had something to do with producing it in the background, and they came up with that. And I think that's the format, because after that you get your Spider-Man movie and
Yep.
so forth and so on.
Yep.
But to move on to some more questions I got for your brothers is, what black superhero would you like to see in movies and TV shows? Let me go to my man Patrick. What would you like to see? I see a smile on his face.
Well, I think they famed Bringer, to be honest. Ironheart. So Riri, Williams, I'm looking for that. I'll tell
She's
you
right here behind me. She's right
exactly.
here behind me.
I've been finding that, I'll tell you who I'm really waiting to see what they're gonna do and evolve. And it might not be for the next 15, 20 years, to be honest. But Miles Morales' sister,
Mhm.
the one that he's flying around now, they started her young. It's like, okay, are they setting her up to take his place?
Mhm.
Because they put her on the cover showing when she was born. They showed him flying around, with her, so he is grooming her from day one. And I think that down the line we're gonna see, that she's gonna take his place, and they're gonna have a female,
Okay, so Night Watch, what's your thought? What black superhero would you like to see in movies and TV shows?
Man, well, I'll tell you what. I'm really excited to see what Marvel now is going to do with Blade, with Mahershala Ali,
Yeah.
because Blade, I just want to jump back to the other question a little bit too, because when Blade came out, like you guys were saying, you had three things. You had a superhero, you had the vampire thing, which vampires is always, there's always people that are going to be attracted to that and horror.
Right.
And you had the martial arts, man. When Wesley Snipes was promoting that movie, I remember there was this show that was called the Masters of the Martial Arts or whatever. And I'm into martial arts. So I was always like, yeah. And, they were showing all these legends like Ernie Reyes and all these other legends in martial arts. And Wesley was right there talking about what he did and stuff like that. So that's what made it so special then. So now I'm just really curious to see how they're going to transition with kind of this new Marvel formula that they have now. Will this Blade be as hard edged, as the Wesley Snipes one? They're going to have a really fine line to walk, because, the Marvel formula now is a lot different, so I'm going to be really interested to see how they play it with this Blade. But I'd love to also see, a new version of Storm. I'd love to see, they've talked about Green Lantern with John Stewart. It's like I'd love to see what they're gonna do with those types of characters too. This is the time. This is the time to do it.
Absolutely.
Okay, Ryan. So did you answer the question already?
I have not, but I'm gonna go with the guy that's right in the corner, right there with Patrick. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm gonna go with Icon. I think that it's this thing about Superman that people have, like people even on Twitter, whatever, they'll fight over Man of Steel. Is this the right Superman? Blah 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 blah. You have there's so many thoughts of there being a black Superman, a black Clark Kent, and et cetera, et cetera. And my thought is, I would be really interested to see Icon because of how Dwayne McDuffie wrote that character and what he
You know
represents.
what though?
Yeah.
I want you to hold that. I got something for you. I got something for you.
Okay.
I got something for you. And Night Watch know how I do. I got something for you. Let's see.
I'm excited.
So I'm gonna come to Patrick.
Uh-huh.
What's your thoughts on Wakanda Forever movie, the new one coming out?
Oh, I'm actually excited to see it because I think they're doing the right thing by pulling in different elements, especially since my girl's gonna be in it. The question is,
who's your girl? Who are you referring to?
Well, I'm talking about
official.
Williams.
Yeah, they made it official. She's in it.
Yeah. So I think that was a great pull. To one, it sparked a whole bunch of interest because I believe what they're trying to do is obviously with Black Panther, dang, what's his name?
Chadwick Boseman, the passing of him.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman. Since the passing of him, they're trying to ensure that they can keep the momentum, still going. And still bring all those people out that came. I mean, look at the records that were set. And the last thing you want is for it to be a letdown. So
they're not going to let it down.
Oh, no. They bet not, But I believe that I'm excited to see it because I want to see, one, the way they go with it. I want to see, the setup for the third. Two, because I truly believe this is not, the ending. It's not 1, 2, but they need to set it up right for the third and let Shira, hold the map. So,
okay, so Brian, what's your thoughts on it?
I'm anxious about it. And that's the word I have because, I mean, to some extent, I definitely get kind of, I don't want to say emotional, but like emotional about, the character connected to Chadwick and how important it was, to society, to our real world, how important it is, and the connection that character has with the real person who is no longer with us, unfortunately. I'm also, T'Challa as a character in the comics and beyond, that character has to live on as well. So eventually, we have to be cognizant that T'Challa has to exist in this Marvel universe beyond Chadwick. And so this movie right here is kind of like the bridge of making that less of respecting and honoring the passing, but allowing time to heal some wounds, heal that mourning period, to eventually bring some form of T'Challa back. Obviously, unfortunately, again without Chadwick, and only time will do that. So for me, I'm really anxious about it because Wakanda, Black Panther, in this world that we live in today, it means a lot. And so it has to be done right, and the whole world is watching.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go down to a Night Watch. What's your thoughts, Night Watch?
Yeah, man, I'm echoing the same sentiment because the first movie was just such a moment, and
right.
Who better than Chadwick, to be right at the heart of it. So you go through all of that and the tragedy, and then you say, well, geez, what can they do? Because again, T'Challa as a character, T'Challa is an awesome character, man. And I mean, so many great stories in the Black Panther comic books, but also in crossovers in like Marvel Universe wise. You know, when you read a
And he's
lot
the
of the
man. He's the man, and he's
yeah,
royal.
man. Yeah,
He's
I
royal,
mean,
and
you
he's the
know,
man.
hey,
There
look,
he is.
man. Anytime you can sit in the room with Xavier and Reed Richards and Tony Stark and all that, and they look up to you as well, you're doing something good as a character. So that's what T'Challa is, and you know, he has to exist in this MCU. So I'm going to be very interested in see how they do it. So far, they've been saying and seem to be doing the right things. So it's definitely a movie I'm looking forward to. I have faith they're going to do stuff the right way, because the one thing, like, they understand what's going on. They understand what they got brewing here. Like you guys said, the whole world is watching. So I do have faith that that Marvel and Feige and all those guys are going to make the best choices that they can make, as they should.
All right. So I'm gonna go back to Brian, because I told him to hold that thought.
All right.
And that's for this right here, because we're gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have this real conversation. That is, why aren't we introducing our own black superheroes instead of making Superman black? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, you know what, it's at the point where, you know, some of us was kicking and screaming to Hollywood, which that's the whole new subject in itself. And they say, okay, here you go. And you turn around and say, we're going to skip Milestone, we're going to skip Icon. Let's make Superman black. Negro. What are we doing here? This ain't it. This ain't it. Now, I know that there are a black Superman that he can understand that. But we're not going to do that. That ain't it. So I'm going to go down to Brian. What's good, player?
So the question is, why aren't we introducing? I think it really comes down to the volatile nature of this American society and us trying to toe the line. You know, Superman is going to, you know, he's going to have sales. You know, then when you say, "Oh, I'm gonna make Superman black," you know, okay, I'm playing to this side, but I'm also playing to that side, and the curiosity of how you're going to make them black. You know, I'm hoping that it drives. Yeah, it's safe. It drives the people to come in. You know, it's like I want both sides to be happy.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
And
you know what? With Guardian of the Galaxy, a 4-tier comic book. Look how that turned out.
But see, and it also goes a little bit deeper, because at the all right, so let's just speak on it. At the end of the day here, I mean, you know, what Icon represents and what other, you know, independent black superheroes could represent is an identity of a powerful black man that's not owned by a white company. That's just real. And
there we go.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and that's, you know, the agency in that is problematic. It's the same problem that the people on the comment board have with Black Cotton. Wait a second, okay, white people don't own Black Cotton. It's two black men who own this world that has characters who are powerful, who are superior, who are the superior race. And it's not owned, you know, if Black Cotton was owned by white men, you know, maybe some of the comments wouldn't be as, I can't say definitely, but maybe it wouldn't be.
No, it wouldn't be.
You're right.
Let's give it a buck.
Yeah, you're right.
So the same thing applies to original black superhero that's equivalent, like Icon, to Superman, is that it's not the agency in it it's not it is not how
no, speak your truth, brother.
America is not built that way. You know,
you're not ready for it. Patrick.
Yeah.
It boils down to sales. And you can track it back to actually Black Panther, the movie. The white industry and the ones who were, you know, who making all the decisions, especially in the comic book industry, they were saying point blank, the black people don't buy comics. They buy some, but guess what? They don't buy the majority. All of a sudden, Black Panther come out, breaking records out the yin yang, and they see how many Black people actually do buy comic books, in the sales, and they're like, look what's happening now. Batman's Black, Spider-Man's, Black. It's like every done character. Wonder Woman's Black. It's like, that change everybody.
It's the hot commodity now.
Exactly. That's what they're saying is this.
It's the trendsetter. But you know what, though, Patrick? I'm gonna add on to what you said. When it comes to Black Panther, it did well. It did well at the box office. It had that receipt to let them know that this is what it is, because everybody participated and enjoyed other cultures. We had a thing last week on my podcast. We were talking about live stream where we were talking about cancel culture and all that stuff and folklores and mythology and like Greek, Norwegian, Asian, Pacific Islander, Native, Irish, African. Like we were saying, if you produce these things and show them, not just us, but other people who are interested will get involved and check it out. We grew up watching Jason Argonaut, Sinbad, Clash of the Titans. We grew up watching this stuff.
Yeah.
But we also grew up watching, like, I'm going back and night watch Kung Fu movies. And from there, we just not. So if you put it out there.
Every Sunday with Kung Fu.
That's right?
Me, and if you put it out there. And you take a bottom tier, like I go back to Girl in the Galaxy, an unheard of thing, and you do it right, this is what you get. You know what I'm saying? So the catches for me is this. No, I'm gonna hold that because I want to jump the gun.
Well, but I want to go back to what you said, because what you said is so powerful. Instead of them doing the work, that's what we're talking about. Doing the work like me and Brian and creating a whole new universe with different characters. They rather say, okay, it's easier for us just to, make them Black and put them in this universe that we've already created, and we'll run them through this. But guess what? He's still in the same role.
Right.
And you also can take them out. If they're in this universe with a bunch of other people, and if it doesn't work, then you can like just pull them out of that universe and focus on someone else. So it's easy to bring in and bring out. The interesting thing about film and TV and just storytelling in general, and it really goes back to because America knows this. Birth of a Nation. Look at what Birth of a Nation did. What happens is film and visual aspects of film, it transcends reality. It goes off of that screen, off of those pages, and it becomes real life. The Ku Klux Klan and the burning of the crosses is from that film. It influenced, reality. And so now you have to say, okay, well, we have original Black superhero. How is that going to affect reality? Because the human mind processes data through images. And so when you start talking about a group of people that have an agency to create their own characters and to put their own characters forth on a big platform like that, there's energy behind that. And people begin to absorb that energy and it transfers into reality. So we get to dampen that energy a little bit by saying, oh, well, let's make this character Black. Well, originally he was white. And you can never take that away. So this is an add-on. But you get something that's original, the power is in originality.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, Hollywood is about business. It's a business. When it's millions of dollars, they want that money back. They want to see that money. No doubt. But you know what? I'm going to do a leeway into another question. How do you think the white community is going to respond to your comic book? Will they embrace it or reject it? I'm going to go to Patrick.
I can tell you right now, I've been to, 3 Comic-Cons thus far, and the biggest shock and this was just my own, implicit bias. I thought it would be the majority of Black people who would be coming up to me and, in my mind, I was like, how do I tell a white person you know, about black cotton. That was to me was going to be the hardest conversation. I went to Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. So here I am. That was the first con I went to, Jackson, Mississippi. And I'm telling you, I'm giving a shout out to Mississippi right now for all the love they showed black cotton. I sold out in Jackson, Mississippi. And I'm telling you, white people were coming up to me, telling me about the characters and their favorite cover and everything. I was like, yo, you know about black cotton, you know? and
it's funny too. It's funny because I really think, you know.
Yeah. So that to me was a revelation that it had transcended beyond color, which is what we wanted. People were really getting into the story. And it showed me, like I said a long time ago, that we were saying stuff or we were giving people something that they had wanted for a long time. Nobody had the guts to do it. And a big shout out to Scout Comments, our publisher, for even, you know, being like jumping. I mean, they jumped on it. When we pitched to them, when Brian came to me, it was like, yo, what do you think about pitching the Scout? I looked them up. I was like, hey, let's give it a shot. And a week later, they was like, yo, we want y'all part of the family. So I love their diversity, you know, and the books that they bring onto the fold. And big ups for them, having faith and also just getting behind us and helping us bring black kind to the world.
Okay, so Brian, what's your thoughts on the question?
Yeah, you know, I think that, you know, for people who already have their perception in their mind made up and they see black cotton, they see social order reverse, it automatically is like, oh no, you know, here goes this, and like, no. But I think for a community of non-black white who's open to being a human being, you know, and learning, I think that you know, they have and they will embrace it. I mean, the best example I have, honestly, I'm married to a white woman, and you know, what's interesting about that is, you know, is her reaction to reading Black Cotton, and what she gets from it, and the interesting conversations that we get to have because I'm a black man, she's a white woman, and you know, some of her thoughts is, you know, is the, to quote her without quoting her exactly, you know, the mind F it does, because, you know, you understand that socially it's here, but in reality it's over here, and you almost have to figure out like where you're going to fall at. And it makes you, you know, get out of, now I'm paraphrasing, it makes you get out of that social order of being white and that social order of being black. And, you know, really
we are conditioned. They got us indoctrinated and conditioned heavy.
Exactly. And that's why the log line, it, you know, it says the social order of white and black, because, you know, it's one thing to be black as a race, you know, it's one thing to be black, brown as a color. It's one thing to be white, you know, as a race, white as a social order. That social construct of white and that social construct of black is really a lot of times what we follow and what we're looking at, as opposed to our actual ethnicities and nationalities and race. So I think that, to be honest with you, it could be split down the middle, but I feel that Black Cotton can and has been embraced, and it has been hated on. And that's the nature of America, I think.
And hated on by both.
Yeah, I love to ask that too.
Because there was a black female who was hating hard on her podcast, you know, and I, you know, I felt some type of way at first, and you know, Brian
was attacking you on the podcast.
Yeah, she was going in. You know, and it was so funny because she even said these exact words. She said, "It might be my own implicit bias that makes me not like it. And I was like, wow. You know?
Wow. Well, yeah, you know what? These questions that I constructed for you guys is really to get the most out of you, and people who don't know you can see what's going on and really get to see what your guys are about. You know.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Yes.
All right. So, what'd you think when you read the B word?
The B word?
Yeah. Issue number 3, page number 2. Bino.
Bino. I just thought it was just part of. I didn't. The only thing that stood out to me. The only thing that stood out to me, and I want to see where you're going with it since you brought it up, is the 2 Asians, because I feel like it's the Hatfield McCoy. The younger brother Xavier, is he going to fully turn on the family? Because I don't know if these people are going to get into his brain and really just persuade him or whatever. The sister who's really doing damage control, but at the same time, the mother and the father kind of like, they're not praising her, but like, you're just doing your job. No, that's a lie, because the father said black cotton to her when she left.
Right.
The cop, the other brother, and he's like in a situation where he's part of the family, but he want to do his own thing. You understand what I'm saying? And the way it's playing out, where the mother like, okay, I'm gonna get a dossier on the woman that he shot, and we'll have something to go against her in the court. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, they playing a little hard out here. But I didn't understand the part where. I won't say understand, but the part that I wanted more information on is like when they went to Japan. I guess that was the mother went to Japan for the business thing.
And Xavier.
Xavier went to, and then there was like the deal. Like they said, they accepted the deal real quick. Was that because they're doing damage control on their side because the 2 rogue sister and brothers was like wrecking havoc? Was that the reason behind that? Like I really just engulfed in the whole story. I don't want to say too much because people like, dang, he done stole over. He told the whole story.
No, you're fine, bro.
But, I let Brian because sometimes I say too much.
Right. Okay. But like I said,
I'll let Brian answer.
Yeah, I thought of the mother as Diane Carroll. I don't know if you watched Dynasty, but that's the vibe I got. Yeah. Like rich, this is what it is, and I definitely enjoy that. But the vinyl part, it really didn't do nothing to me. I noticed it and I was like, okay. Yeah. And I kept moving because I was so busy trying to connect these other pieces and stuff. And I'm gonna throw it out there. I think that the brother is going to get back with the family fully. The cop, the mother and father of the foundation. The sister, I'm not sure what's going to happen with the sister. The one that's holding all this stuff together, that's doing the damage control. I want to know what's going to happen with her, because she seems like she's another foundation to the family.
She's the one.
They got to acknowledge her.
Yeah, she's the one that Elijah, the father, is grooming to take over. So it would have been Zion, who is the oldest. He went a different direction. So now you got Kia, who is, the one who is sort of, filling that role and going down that road, which you don't see a lot in our society, which is why we thought it was important to put that female in that strong, role. Where she's the one who is being groomed to, take over this billion-dollar empire.
Yeah, because I noticed how when she went to the brother, his apartment or whatever, and kind of like reeled him in and comforted him at the same time. Like, I'm comforting you, but at the same time, we're still doing this damage control. You know what I'm saying? So I peeped that. I'm like, okay, so that's a good writing right there. I definitely enjoy that part, but I'm definitely paying attention to the sister because she got it going on. I definitely like it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like the sister.
Good. Yeah, but you're going to find out, to answer your question, you're going to find out more about the Japan trip, definitely, as it unfolds. We're already writing that in because that was an important piece. I'm glad you picked up on it. There's some seeds that we dropped, you know,
Did I get some of them? Because I was trying to get on.
Yeah. A lot of people, they forget about in issue 1 that Jalissa and Xavier were, you know, in the plane coming back from Japan. So when you get the twins in issue 3, it's like, hold up, Japan, boom, you know. So it's a lot of seed dropping, you know.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So now we made it to the speed round.
Okay.
And is this something that I came up with when I have guests on my show, or something like to lighten the mood and test your comic book nerd, intelligence. So Night Watch, you want to participate or are you going to lay back?
Either way, man.
Don't participate, man.
So I'm going to go to Brian because Brian, he's on it.
Brian's the whiz.
Yeah. So what black superhero was a Hornet on a 70s cartoon show?
Oh man. I know it's oh my goodness. Oh wait.
When I was writing this, I was like, okay, let's see what brother get this one.
Not the Green Hornet. It's the
I think Night Watch.
Was it Fat Albert? It was on a Fat Albert show.
Yeah.
I just can't think of the character's name. But yeah, I see him. I just can't think of.
All right, I'm gonna go to Patrick because he's smiling.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the character.
It's the Fat Albert show, but it's the Fat Albert show though.
Yeah.
Okay, Night Watch.
Black Hornet.
You got it?
Black Hornet.
Nope.
There it is, the Brown Hornet.
The Brown Hornet.
Brown Hornet. That's what it is. Brown Hornet.
That's what it was. I knew it was a Hornet, but I knew it wasn't black. I just can't think of it.
Okay. So what black anti-villain who used magic to fight Shazam? Who's this brother?
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna go to Night Watch.
Black Adam.
There you go. It's Black Adam.
Which has a movie coming out.
The Rock.
Yeah.
But was Black Adam originally black?
Yeah, because they all come from Egypt. They're both Egyptian and they call them Egyptian gods.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I know, like in the 90s, I feel like they drew him kind of white.
Yeah.
But what,
they did.
Yeah.
They got scrubbed a little bit, but they all right.
All right.
Okay. All right.
In what movie is the black superhero rude to everybody? That's
Will Smith.
There you go. Hancock. There you go.
Yeah.
Patrick ordered, boy. What black superhero was created by infusing alien technology to save his life?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go to Brian.
You got me. Wait a second. Black superhero who was created.
You know who that is?
Alien tech.
Mm-hmm.
Do I?
Yeah, you know. I'm gonna go to Patrick. Patrick got it.
Cyclops, right?
Nope.
No. What black?
Give him a C though.
I mean, Cyborg.
There you go.
Cyborg.
That's right.
There you go.
Cyborg.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sweet Christmas. What black superhero said this line? We'll go to Brian.
Luke Cage.
There we go, player.
I got that one.
So I'm gonna go back to Patrick. Name 3 black female superheroes.
Ooh, okay, all right. So we got Storm, obviously. We got my girl in the background, Riri.
There we go.
And Shira. We'll go with
Sure. Okay. So let me go down to Brian. What's your 3, Brian?
Can I use the same ones or no? Okay. Right. We're gonna go with Rocket. We're gonna go with Thunder. And we're gonna go with how do you say it? Storm.
I give you a hint. She's an original. She's the original one, but they made a movie.
Oh no. Give me Misty Knight.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
That's my girl right there. That's how I'm trying to.
Dang,
That's my girl right there. I love me some Misty Knight.
Okay.
She better
Night
be.
Watch. What you got on the Night Watch?
man, they took mine. I was gonna say Misty too. Dang. Well, Photon.
Okay.
Throw a Photon out there. Dang, man. Now you got me on this one.
I give you Vixen. What about Vixen?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah, Vixen. Dang. I'm drawing blanks now, man. Y'all done named a whole bunch. And it ain't enough of them.
Well, hey, you got the new Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
no.
Okay.
Old but new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that would be my third then. All right.
All
I
right.
just wish they would draw her better.
What black
Go ahead.
They should. But what black superhero shot Superman in the eye with a piece of kryptonite?
Oh, he's on the new Suicide Squad. The black guy.
Yes.
Oh, I can't say his name.
Bloodsport.
Slingshot or
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm gonna bring it to my man Brian because he's good like that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Gotta have faith, player.
No doubt.
What black superhero shot? No, that's not it.
Bloodsport. Oh, okay.
What is the successor name to Iron Man Wealth and Technology? Who is this person? Patrick was talking about him all through the show. Patrick knows who it is.
Patrick might know. I don't. Wait, what is the successor's name to Iron Man Wealth
And Technology?
I don't know this.
Right behind you.
Right behind me. No, me.
Oh, I'm like,
Riri. Ironheart.
yeah, of course. No, here's the bad thing about it. I was trying to think of a guy. I don't know why I was trying to think of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Society, I tell you.
Okay.
But
okay,
yeah.
so there's a thing that I do on my show before I end it, and I call a spotlight, where I spotlight directors or people that's in the movie industry
Okay.
that did a lot.
Okay.
So today's spotlight will be. There we go.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know the brother.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Dwayne Mcduffie. And if you're not familiar with him, he created Static Shock, Icon, Rocket, Ben 10. He also wrote on Justice League Unlimited. So this brother was very talented, to say the least.
That's
He
to
was.
be honest, that's one of the awards that me and Brian are trying to really shoot for, because his award embodies diversity, in your characters and writing. So if we can win that award, that really is something that we would truly, be honored, and we just got so much respect for him.
He's a serious brother, man. He's a serious brother. I watched a couple of his interviews, and he's very relatable. He's not standoffish, but from what I got out of it, he's a serious brother.
Yeah, way too young.
Yeah. So Milestone comic books characters should be introduced, and I think they should put them on BT and other black platforms. Like they need to just take these characters, either be live action or cartoon, and let's start putting them out there.
Yeah, I mean they say that with Reginald Hudlin, that's part of their plan.
Really?
Yeah, to bring Milestone to the big screen. So it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen. Hope it does. Okay. Yeah, he's a partner now with Dennis Cowan, who is the owner of Milestone now.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're supposed to do it. It would be nice to see, because they're original black characters in their own universe carved out within DC. But they're called out into DC because of the deal, but they're their own thing, which is great.
Yeah, they don't enter it. Yeah. Because I'm bringing up the part where DC kind of like honor Dwayne Mcduffie by taking Icon and Rocket and put them in the Young Justice League, which was cool, you know what I'm saying? And Static Shock and all this stuff. Keep working with these characters and doing shows and stuff. But I definitely had to do the spotlight on Dwayne Mcduffie. You know, he's a serious brother, and salute to him. So this was an excellent live stream. Definitely enjoyed it.
Thanks for having us.
Always, you guys can come. You know, you're welcome to come on my live stream and chop it up. If you want to promote, do anything, I am here. I hope I got your information right for following on Instagram, Facebook. You know, get you out there like that. And salute. And I will be gobbling up all the rest of these comic books. So I get the rest of them.
Thank you so
I
much.
dissect them, read them, regurgitate them. I'm on.
Appreciate it.
I'm very proud of you, brothers. And Night Watch, again, I'm glad you coming through and sharing this, you know, being on this live stream that we're doing here.
Absolutely, man.
Brian, keep doing what you're doing. Patrick, keep doing what you're doing. And I'm just be promoting you guys, getting the word out of what you're doing. And hopefully next year I see you doing bigger and better things. Actually, I know y'all will be doing bigger and better things.
Yeah. So anytime, all you gotta do is let us know, and we'll come back anytime. So
okay, man. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, like I said, I wrote these
great
questions and stuff like that just to have fun. You know.
Those great questions.
This was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. You know, the asking the questions and the conversation and the interaction. So yeah, it was fun, man. Thank you very much for it.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So I'm gonna let you guys go.
All right, man. Catch you guys later.
Gosh.
Peace out.
Black Cotton.
Black Cotton.
Yeah, Black Cotton.